Ruth, if you'd like to talk about G.
Okay, so item F.
Sorry.
Item F pertains to getting people, private firms or individuals, deputized to be city inspectors after an emergency, so that if a building needs to be red tagged or can get the green lights to be reoccupied or whatever, that it would expedite that process. And my question is, and it wasn't clear from this all the material, whether the deputization as a city inspector goes to a qualified individual or to a firm.
I believe it could be either. It's they have, whoever they are, they have to be qualified, but they're selected by. Initially, we're talking about Novartis, Wareham, and PG&E, and the individual or firm would have to be contracted with those firms, and they would have to meet certain minimum requirements and fill out all the necessary forms and so forth, and then we would approve it. But I believe it could be either an individual or a firm.
So I noticed also this deputization might go for different kinds of professional backgrounds, like an elevator person, or the what they call life support.
Life safety system.
Life safety systems are for the ventilation, and then the structural engineer. So are there any other disciplines that need to be included in this?
Well, the program would address specific buildings of each of these firms. So on the Novartis campus, for example, there would be each building would be identified and included, and there would be a checklist for each building of what exactly needs to be looked at after an earthquake. And it would be based on the building, the characteristics of each building, what the disciplines would be needed on the team that would be certified by the city to be deputized by us. If a building or a complex didn't have any elevators, obviously you don't need someone who's an elevator expert, but it would be based on the characteristics of the buildings that would be included.
Well, I guess my preference would be that the deputization not go to a firm, but go to individuals only, because then we can check directly their appropriate licenses, and not have to rely on some company's HR or something like that.
Yeah, but you could have a general contractor that has multiple disciplines and is licensed to look at more than one thing.
Say something?
So in a case like a Novartis, they have a lot of very specific processes there. So they would probably look at a firm that has the whole bailiwick of
Okay,
expertise.
well, then I would like the employees, not the firm, to be deputized.
Excuse me, Mayor. It would be the individuals. It would not be the firm that are the ones that are actually deputized, because they are the ones that will have to show that they have the requisite requirements, and there are provisions that we are looking for structural engineers as well as architects, persons who have specialties in inspections of elevators, and also life safety systems. So there's a host of different sort of subspecialties that individuals and not just the firm will be identified in advance. Now, obviously, if those individuals leave the firm that is really being contracted with by, say, Novartis, then another individual will need to be identified, and likewise, they will have to have the requisite qualifications. So it really is an individual person that will be identified.
But that's going to be a challenge, because like in my case, I carry the license for my company, and I have 30 people that could do certain aspects of any job using my license.
Well, we're not particularly after. I mean, the main things are, that the individual is primarily it's a structural engineer is the main person. Now, you may not be a structural engineer, but you might have somebody in your company that is a licensed structural engineer. So,
And he would be able to seal those drawings with his signature and his state license on them, yes.
right.
Mayor West,
Yeah.
I'd like to commend staff on bringing this forward because this is really an emergency recovery tactic to use that will serve us very well. And we're working on our emergency preparation, but we have to think about what happens after the emergency happens. I would move this resolution. I think it's a prudent act on the part of the city, and I would move the resolution.
There is no resolution at this time. We would come back at a subsequent meeting with a resolution for the council's consideration, but this was just a report about the program to get your direction to allow us to go forward with it.
Well, I would ask the council to support moving forward on this.
I support it if it rests with the individual.
It sounds like those details will be something we can discuss further as the program is developed. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, then without exception?
Yep.
Second.